Welcome to Rising Goddess Radio. I'm your hostess, Michelle Torrance. I created Rising Goddess Radio to be a space where we dive deep into our spiritual, emotional, and physical bodies. We're getting real and connecting with ourselves in the most intimate ways. We'll be talking all things sacred sexual, relationship building, and womb healing. We'll be learning how to connect with our bodies through learning the language it speaks, how to use our sexual and sensual energies to create, manifest, and heal our lives. This show is about healing the chaotic feminine and toxic masculine within to create a world that responds to the divine and healthy energy you chose to tune in, tap in, and turn on. We will learn from amazing humans who take time and share their wisdom and sacred healing magic, rising humans who are here in this world to be healers, teachers, guides, priestesses, warriors, and shamans. All divine sisters and brothers in rising. We'll get witchy, sassy, sexy, and saucy. We're going to talk all things that align us with our true nature and authentic selves and create a community that expands with the ascension and growth of each of us. So grab some green juice, light some cannabis, get your blankets, or sit by the pool because we are about to rise up another level together. Catch you on the inside, dolls. Hello, my beautiful rising humans, and welcome to this next episode of Rising Goddess Radio. I, first of all, need to write down this angel number that just flew across my path. Let me write this down. It's interesting. Angel numbers come to me all the time, and I write them down. You should see my little journal and notebook. It's I see numbers all the time, and I'm going to go through probably before the full moon and see which angel numbers have made their way into my world from the new moon until the full moon. So I'm excited for that. So anyways, I am on here talking to you about the full moon. This full moon is in Libra. But don't be fooled. There will be some Scorpio undertones coming through because it will be transitioning into Scorpio very shortly after the fullness. It's also the pink moon. So we're going to dive into this episode generally what to expect from this particular full moon, and then what to expect with your particular sun sign. And this is Western astrology. So just like I did with the new moon, I'm gonna do with the full moon. I was giggling earlier because let me tell you, I've got my headphones on and I've got my music going, and it's my Erica Badu station. It's on Pandora. It's a pretty sweet station. It's got we got Keith Sweat coming. We got LL. We got Guapale. We got, CeCe Winans. We got like all sorts of amazing songs, right? And so I was curious, and I was like, I wonder what I sound like actually singing without the actual background of the music to see if I am in tune. And let me tell you, ladies and gents, oh look, there's a hawk. Hello, Mr. Hawk. Thank you for flying and showing yourself to me. I do not sound good at all. I do not sound good whatsoever. So I was giggling at myself before I came on. So anyways, I have my water this time. I'm not sure if you listened to my last episode. I did not have my cup of water, and the frog decided to come out and play, and I was adamant about not going downstairs to get my water, so I'm prepared this time. So full moons are amazing. We're also smoking our cannabis. If you have your cannabis with you, enjoy. I love full moons. I love all moons. Not partial to one or the other. I do love every energy that comes with each and every different phase of the moon. Why I love full moons is the fact that nothing can hide anymore with full moons. She is so brightly lit that everything within the shadows is lit up, and we can no longer run and bypass. And we'll get into that a little bit later, especially for some signs out there. Scorpio in particular. Hint, hint. Don't worry, I'm a Scorpio too. Anywho, so let's go ahead and dive in, right? I love the full moon because, like I said, she's opposite the sun. So when she's opposite the sun, then she is fully lit. Being fully lit moon, the moon is all about our emotional awareness, our emotional stability, our shadow side, right? She goes very well with the high priestess. If you follow tarot, or if you've been following me for a while, and you're familiar with some of the card names that I talk about. So I love the full moon just strictly for that, just because I love shadow work. I love getting in there and pulling out the lies and removing those, and getting to the truth, and embodying the magic that is our truth. So that's why I love full moons. So let's talk about this one. This is a full moon in Libra. This is also called the pink moon. Now there's a couple of other names. You might hear it called the sprouting grass moon, the hair moon, the egg moon, and a couple of other names. Now, I'm not too fully knowledgeable on all those. So if you are, come join the Rising Goddess group and share your magic with us. And B, educate if this is something that gets you curious on the different names and why there's different names and all that stuff like that. Hashtag curious, hashtag Google. So now Libra is opposite Uranus, which means... I know, it's funny every time I say it. Uranus, however you want to pronounce it, is basically filled with imbalanced and quick actions. It's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Impulsive. Thank you. A lot of impulsive actions. So there's going to be this intense feeling a need for this impulse need to have freedom or get out and experience some things. There's also going to be a highlight on your relationships and the imbalances of your relationships, which is involving emotional support. So this is going to be a time to really look at the relationships, utilize the brightness of the full moon, and tap into the imbalance of the relationship. Is there communication happening within your relationship? Is there an equal reciprocation of love? Are you giving what it is that you want to receive? And are you allowing yourself to receive what is being given? So this full moon is really going to be focused a lot on home, family, intimate relationships, and all of those things are really going to come into a sharper focus with this full moon. This full moon is going to be, it's all about balance, obviously, because we're in Libra, but with that Scorpio, like I said, coming in, there's going to be that forcingness of looking at your shadow. That's what Scorpio does. We bring in and provide the opportunity where the only creative solution is to look at your shadow. And that's what I love about the sneakiness, not the sneakiness, the little sexy vibes of Scorpio coming through. It's time to get uncomfortable. This is going to be a time really where you are to get uncomfortable. You may have been getting uncomfortable and working towards that and moving that from your intentions of the new moon. You've had opportunities provided for you that allow you to get uncomfortable and expand. So this is a time to fully allow yourself to release and fully get uncomfortable, fully go all in and embody the next vibrational field that you are expanding to. See, this is where being uncomfortable comes in, right? We get comfortable in this vibrational field that we're in, and then we decide to, we want something, right? We have this intention and this desire that we want something. And so then we start to take action, right? And as you start to take action, then you are moving up. You have taken that step up into that next vibrational field. What's happening at that moment in time, though, is that you're just not fully there yet. You're like not, what's the word? Fully embodying that vibrational field yet. You're there in a visionary state, in a like a vision, like the page, right? I think of the page in my head, which is all about vision and dreams and planning and organizing. Like you're getting that stuff going and you've taken that step, but you're getting uncomfortable because you're not in that field. But once you start moving along and taking more action and getting comfortable and doing that shadow work, and that shadow work in that higher vibrational field that you step into is going to be deeper work, right? So the deeper work and the deeper healing that takes place within our vibrational frequency, the higher the higher frequency vibrational field we move into. Does that make sense? So the deeper the healing, the higher the vibe, basically, right? That's just me ice skating uphill trying to explain that for you. You're welcome. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's also a need for change. Excuse me. There's this desire for a change. You might feel restless. You might feel trapped in some of these emotional situations. This is the time to go all in. This is the time to face the shit. This is the time to break the habits, break the patterns. It's time to make waves. When we go all in and we choose to fully look at all of the shit that we have been doing, all of our actions, and you're going to hear some of the stuff that I'm repeating into the different signs, because a lot of the different signs, it's broken up. Some of these things, this is like the full spectrum that we're all going to generally as a collective feel together. But as we break down into the different sun signs, you're going to hear some of these things repeated. But it's time to really face it. We live in patterns and habits. That's what we do. That's how we create. We can either create bad habits or we can create good habits. We can create healthy patterns or we can create unhealthy patterns, right? And so this is the time. This is the full moon. This particular one is the opportunity for you to face the patterns and the habits that you have been living in and really dismantle the beliefs of those patterns that no longer serve you, so that way you can transmute that energy into what serves you and rise up into that next vibrational field. And when we rise up into that next vibrational field, we make waves. We already make waves just by living our truth, by speaking our truth, living our truth, embodying the highest vibrational selves of our being. Embody the highest vibrational beings of ourselves. We make waves. We cause disruptions within the frequency of the collective and disturb the patriarchal vibration that is trying to keep the collective in control. Okay. And so this is where it feels uncomfortable. It feels vulnerable. And this is good. This is you expanding into your next vibrational field. This is you making those waves into the collective to wake people up. So you're going to feel this fear. But this is where we have all of those beautiful slogans and sayings and hats and t-shirts where it says, fuck fear, right? Feel the fear, do it anyways. All of those cliche slogans and sayings that we hear all the time. This is the full moon to embody the actionable steps of those cliches because they work. So let's get into this. Okay, let's get into the sun signs, your Western astrology. We're going to start at the top with Aries, right? So this full moon, Aries, this is a time for you to stay present where you are. You are in the height of your Aries-ness, and you are wanting to have all of this change and wanting to do this and wanting to do that and wanting to do this. And all of that will be swirling all around you. But what's important to remember, Aries, is that it's important to be present in the moment now. Be present in the moment now. So Taurus, how can we utilize the full moon for you? Pay attention. This is really important, that there's going to be a lot of anxiety coming through. There's going to be a lot of restlessness that's going to be happening. And it's important for you to ground yourself. As a Taurus, obviously you're an earth sign, so grounding yourself is really, really important. But don't goal your self-care, right? So don't say like, once I'm done with this, then I'll work out, or once I'm done with this, then I'll meditate. Understand that it's important for you, Taurus, to meditate and work out before you go off and do whatever it is that you need to do, because as a earth sign, that is your intrinsic, that is where you live. So there's going to be some restlessness, there's going to be some anxiety, but make sure that you focus on your self-care, and that will help guide you through this time. Geminis, you do not like authority, and I fully understand that. My son is a Gemini, and he's working on that. However, this is a time where it's important to realize that you're going to be provided opportunities where you can show that when authority figures are speaking with you or connecting with you in a way that you can respond without the quote unquote temper tantrum energy. This is going to give you that opportunity, Gemini, to be able to learn how to accept things, accept what things are as they are in this current frame, but realizing that just because you are accepting what is now doesn't mean that you can't make choices to shift what is coming. Does that make sense? So Cancers, impulsive reactions do not serve you very well. You are the most emotional sign in our zodiac. You're also very empathetic, and a lot of times you don't know how to differentiate between your energy and somebody else's energy. So it's very important that you pay attention to your emotions. Also pay attention on the fact to speak your truth. There will be times and opportunities where you're going to just want to say something to please somebody, or just because you don't want to make them mad. Check in with yourself with this full moon. Utilize this full moon energy to reflect on yourself and see, am I coming into this particular relationship experience, situation from codependent vibrations? Am I catching on to somebody else's energy that is feeling different from my own? So I'm feeling discombobulated and insecure and not grounded. So ground yourself, Cancer. Do your meditation, just like I was telling Taurus earlier, right? Do your meditations, do your workout, ground yourself into where you're at. So this allows you to know what is your energy and what is not your energy. I also have an episode here on the show on grounding and energy protection. So check that out if this resonates with you. Leo, there's this newfound need for independence, but yet there's this fear that's kind of holding you back, this apprehension. So utilize this full moon to allow yourself to tap into any fears that are within your emotional vibration. Bring them out, roar them out, work them out, run them out, allow yourself to view them and get logical about them. And then, trust that you can do this. You can do anything on your own. You are strong. You are brave. You are courageous. So utilize this full moon to tap into those fears and trust that you can do this. Virgos, there's this intense feeling, this increased desire for hunger and hunger for love and affection, right? This increased desire, this hunger for love and affection. Now, as Virgos, I have a Virgo moon, so my emotional state is the Virgo, the Virgo personality traits, right? But so for my Virgo sun signs, you're already romantics, right? So it's important that you can have that hunger, but if you're starving for it, this is where it's time to check in and reflect. Okay, this is where things need to be readjusted and changed. So utilizing this full moon and looking within yourself, also ask yourself, Virgos, are you giving the love that you want to receive? This is really important for Virgos, because as Virgos, we really love to receive the love and give all the and have all the love. And sometimes we falter on giving that. So check in with yourself, utilize this full moon energy to really enhance the love that you can give, and express that love with all of the relationships that you have, and watch all of the reciprocation come back to you. Libras, we already know that you're all about balance. Yes, Libras are all about balance. You're the scales. You're the ones that are always researching and double checking and weighing the pros and cons and all of these things. Now, as Libras, the balancing for this particular full moon is really between intentions and actions. Okay. Now, as people, as humans, holding ourselves accountable to our actions is something that we have kind of struggles with. This is why we've got health and fitness coaches. This is why we've got trainers. This is why we've got business coaches. Holding ourselves accountable to our actions can be something that can falter. This is me. This is something that I have had to consciously work on, and I consciously focus on that every day I wake up, and I ask how I can show up in full integrity. How can my actions match my intentions, right? So Libras, really dive in and ask yourself, are your intentions and actions aligned? So utilize this full moon energy to really go into whether or not your actions are supporting your intentions. And if they don't, that's okay. Just get clear on your intentions. Utilize the full moon to get clear on this, and then redirect. Okay, what action steps do you need to take and shift on to support the intentions, so that way you are aligned up and quote unquote balanced and harmonized. Scorpios, here we are. Scorpios, you're going to understand this very quickly. There is a difference between self-medicating and self-care. This is very, very important. Most addicts that we find out there that I have done research on have been Scorpios, other ones, Pisces, Geminis, and Virgos. This is something that I'm just kind of researching just for my own geekiness. But this is really a time where you are really pay attention. Utilize this full moon energy. Are you bypassing and medicating yourself? We're pro cannabis on this show, and in my whole world we are, right? But there's times when cannabis should not be the focus and used, because just as kale or eating or coke, or cocaine or crack or hair, all these different fucking vices, doesn't matter the vice, right? It can be used to bypass and medicate. And sometimes using cannabis is not the right response in that moment in time, because if you're using it to run away and bypass, then you're not utilizing the full intention of it for care. So Scorpios, pay attention. Are you medicating or are you caring? Are you bypassing? Are you falling into some addictive behaviors and patterns? Utilize this full moon to check into those. Okay. Sagittariuses, do you remember the energy that's been happening from the new moon? You are still in that vibration. So utilizing this full moon energy is to really utilize the light to kind of fine tune what you're doing, fine tune your path, fine tune your intentions, just kind of like Libra a little bit. Are your actions aligned with your intentions? It's not so much questioning on whether or not they are aligned. It's just whether or not they're moving in the right direction and still supporting, because every single day is a brand new life experience, and every single day can bring something new to your vibration and the intentions that you have. So it's important to kind of check in. So Sagittarius this is a time for you to check in with yourself. You're still in the vibration of the new intentions that you sent with the new moon. Fine tune your path, fine tune your intentions, and keep going. And one note, Sagittarius, it doesn't have to be perfect, please. Okay? Perfection is an illusion. We all understand that you really, truly love perfection, right? You and Aries. But it's so, so important to realize, to find the fun and fall in love with the progress of fine tuning your action steps and path and program. That's the creation that we came here to do. So trust that if it's not perfect, that's okay. Fall in love with the process and find the fun in that, and watch you get closer and closer to the aligned vibration of your highest being and the desires that you want. Excuse me, Capricorns, dear Capricorns, there's going to be some unresolved issues that are coming up for you. This is going to be an emotional time for you. And Capricorns, you're so funny. I love you so much. I say this pretty much on every show when I talk about Capricorns, because you're such a grounded, you remind me of the Emperor. The Emperor rules 4. It's very grounded, very solid, very logical, very reasoning, not a whole lot of emotions. So with Capricorns at this time, there's these unresolved emotions are going to be coming up. So you have two things that you can do with this. You can either deal with them, or you can let them go, because bypassing is just not an option for you, because as a Capricorn, you must process your feelings for you to maintain the structured foundational, grounded structure function. What words am I saying? The foundational structure, for yourself, the grounded, solid, logical self. it's important for you to process your emotions. So this is a time, deal with what it is that you can, work on, transmute, and then let go what it is that no longer serves you. And this is really actually letting go. So really tap into a ritual and a practice that you can let go with. A full moon ritual on releasing, forgiveness work. This is going to be very, very important for you right now. Aquarius, this is going to be a fun time for you. This kind of reminds me of like a Disney time for you right now. This pink moon, my Aquarius, you're swimming in poetry and art and music. It's all in your mind and in your heart and all of these amazing, beautiful swirlinesses. When I think of Aquarius, my friend Amber comes into my head, and it's like this pink silk that flows through. This is what I'm feeling right now for Aquariuses. But this is a time, Aquarius, for you to dive into this creative soul connection with yourself, but don't have an expectation to sell or show anything, your art or your work or anything to anybody right now. Utilize this full moon energy to go through and search the depths of your soul and tap in and pull out all of the art that calls to you during this time and use it for yourself. Enjoy that work for yourself. Enjoy the art. Enjoy the creation of it. This is a time where you can really just enjoy this time for yourself and present it for yourself. Do the work for yourself. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the results, and fully be present and involved and engulfed in it. All right, here we are, Pisces. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. This is going to be an obstacle time for you. This is a time where it's important for you to really ground yourself, lean into your meditation, lean into your workouts, lean into the support system that you have. Be compassionate with yourself, be patient with yourself, allow yourself to feel the emotions, to work through the struggles, but it is so important to stay grounded. This is why it's important leaning into your rituals, whether you do your tarot, your saging, whether you do yoga, whether you meditate, whether you work out, whatever it is that is your daily grounding rituals, it's very important to lean into those right now. Everything is going to be okay. It may feel like it's very expanded more than what it is. Understand too, as Pisces, things are a bit more dramatic in our world. So learn and understand the difference and the line when it's something that is an emotional situation that you are able to feel and swim around in, but also understand when it's moving into an extreme dramatic of focus on it. Instead of, instead of focusing on a creative solution for the obstacle, you're just focusing on the obstacle. Does that make sense? So that is it. Fun fact I'm going to share with you. I had already recorded this episode and somehow I hit a button and deleted the entire thing. So I just re-recorded it for you right now because I love you so much and I love the moon so much. I wanted to make sure that this episode was out for you in time so you can take full advantage and benefit of this episode and the full moon energy and how you, my beautiful rising humans, can expand, transmute, heal, and rise. So make sure you head over to the Rising Goddess group on Facebook. This week I'm going to be going in there and talking about full moon rituals and how this full moon will affect your moon sign. And also make sure you follow me over on Instagram at the Rising Goddess _. That is at the Rising Goddess _. Come find me on Facebook. I'm expanding my like page over there as well. It's Michelle Torrance - the Rising Goddess. Michelle Torrance - the Rising Goddess. So anyways, thank you for listening and hanging out with me. And fun. I actually like the second episode better than the first. Funny how that works out. Thank you again for joining me, and come find me. Come continue the conversation. Come have fun with us. Let's connect. Let's heal. Let's rise and have a kick-ass time. I will catch you all in the next episode. Later.